Chapter 2. Healing the Wounded. Many people in this world have been wounded some way or another. One thing that we have to understand is that several times we don't even realize that we've been wounded. Understanding how we have been wounded is a part of overcoming the wounds. When we continue on, not realizing that we've been wounded usually results in more wounds. The more wounds we have, the harder for us to overcome them. Through God, we can be healed. Psalms 147:3 says, "He healeth the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds." Brokenhearted means 1. Crushed by sorrow, grief, or disappointment, inconsolable. Wounds means 1. Any hurt or injury to the feelings, honor, etc. The next verse finally declares the power of God. Psalms 147:4 says, "He telleth the number of the stars, he calleth them all by their names, healing the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds." That same being who spoke the worlds into existence does in his mercy cheer the wounded and heal the brokenhearted. First, here is a great ill, which is a broken heart, and secondly, a great mercy, which healeth the broken heart and bindeth up their wounds. Man is a double being. He is composed of body and soul. Each of the portions may receive injury of hurt. The wounds of the body are extremely painful. Remember that in His mercy providing means whereby wounds may be healed and injuries repaired. Wounds are known, not felt. Before you disagree, hear us while we explain. You, however, who have broken hearts, can no longer be used to love. We intend to help you on the important subject of broken hearts and the great healing provided for them. Let us figure out a broken heart. What is it? Understanding that there are several kinds of broken hearts. Some are what we call naturally broken, and some are spiritually broken. There have been hearts broken by a great number. A wife has been neglected by a husband who was once totally focused on the wife in every way. Even now, she tenderly loves him. Despised by the man who once showed her great affection, she has known what a broken heart is. A friend is forsaken by one upon whom we learned to who they're very close to, so that their two hearts had grown into one, and he feels that his heart is broken, for the other half of himself is cut off from him. Talking about these types of situations, one does not care to be around the other as before. One friend moves. One we have always told our sorrows betrays our confidence. The conscience may possibly be a broken heart. When you fall in love with someone and you find has been with another results in a severe broken heart. It may occur when someone says something hateful to a friend or family member. Something happens to that person, such as death or accident, will result in a broken heart. A child or parent that says, "I hate you," can result in a broken heart. There was a time I was supposed to stay with a family member for a few days. During this time, I was approximately 10 years old. My mom drove to the family's house, in which the parents were not home. My mom went on home, and soon after, the parents got home. There was much excitement in my heart to get to stay there. Immediately, we all got into the car to go for a ride. One thing I remember is I recognized that we were heading towards where I lived. We arrived in front of my house, and hatefully, one parent screamed, "Get out!" and then they peeled out and left. This resulted in a broken heart. One day, I was working on our automobile and cut the top of my hand pretty bad. After a few days, the pain was not there anymore. The wound remained for quite a long while. A couple of weeks later, I was working on something and I ripped my hand open in the same place as before. The wounds that are there in our hearts need to be took care of by God's great mercy. Opening the wounds is much more severe than the first. We have spoken a long time on the ill of a broken heart. Our second thought will be on His great mercy. He healeth the broken heart. Psalms 147:3 says, He healeth the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds. First, He, being God, only does it. Men may try to help the suffering, they may console the afflicted and cheer the distressed, but they cannot heal the broken heart, nor bind up their wounds. The binding of heart is done immediately by God. Micah 7:7 says, Therefore I will look unto the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Then again, God only may do it. Suppose you can heal your broken heart. It would be good for nothing. I do seek the Lord that I may never get a broken heart healed, hear me when I say this, except it be God. Truly convinced sinners would rather keep his heart broken than to have it healed wrongly. I ask who are suffering, would you not rather keep your heart broken as it is, than to allow a bad physician to cure it for you and so deceive you? Isaiah 53:4-5 says, Surely he hath borne our grief, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. 1 Peter 2:24 says, Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. 3 John 1:2 says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. Finally, he will do it. That is a sweet thought. He healeth the broken heart. He will do it. Nobody else can. Nobody else may. But he will. Is your heart broken? He will heal it. He is sure to heal it, for it is written, and it can never be altered. For what was true over 2,000 years ago is true now. He healeth the broken heart. Did Saul of Tarsus rejoice after 3 days of blindness? Yes, and you shall be delivered also. I love thee with an everlasting love. Yes, it is true, most true, neither dream nor fiction. He healeth the broken heart, and bindeth up their wounds.